of hard work.
In Russia, tens of thousands of people are protesting plans to substantially hike the age at which Russian men and women can receive their state retirement pensions to age 65 for men and 63 for women. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.
Here's an urgent alert from the
Stand by.
line. The average student loan debt is $25,000. Have you been out of college for 10 or more years and you're still making your student loan payments? If you are struggling with paying off your student loan, if you are past due, Nationwide Student Loan Relief can now restructure your student loans. We can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop harassing collection calls, even eliminate your student loan payment. If you can't afford your student loans, or if you're past due and you need help, you must call right now. We will restructure your loan or your money back, and that's a guarantee. So call the Student Loan Hotline right now. 800-949-8707, 800-949-8707, 800-949-8707, 800-949-8707.
Welcome to Fifth Street Sports, talk you can bet on. I'm Nolan Dalla. We're here on Sports Byline USA, SB Nation, and on Armed Forces Radio Network. You might be listening to my voice now live on Facebook or on one of 40 great radio stations around the country, including KSHP here in Las Vegas, 1400 AM on your dial. Hi to the folks listening to my voice on radio in Philadelphia, Houston, a lot of other great cities too. Wow, we got a show for you today. All NFL here in late July, getting ready to talk about the upcoming 2018 NFL season. Our resident handicapper, Frank Perez, here off to my immediate left. Frank, how are we doing today?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
It's a scorcher out there in Las Vegas today, but man, you always seem to look cool.
Oh, thank you. That's pretty good. Thank you.
That was pretty good. I worked on that.
Wow.
All right. We got a special guest today. Frank's respected this man, as I have for many, many years here in Las Vegas. He has a handicapping service. One of the guys that's honest, does his homework, does the analysis. Let me tell a real quick story about Stephen Nover here, who is with us in studio. The first course I took at UNLV, this is going back about 17, 18 years, Stephen Nover was teaching a handicapping course at UNLV. So, hello, Professor Stephen Nover.
Hi, Nolan. I remember you were so modest, too. I remember coming to you before the class and saying, Nolan, you're a celebrity. You know, you're real big into poker. You wrote a great book on Stu Ungar. I said, can I introduce you to the class? You said, please don't.
Please don't. Anyway, it was a great class. Real quick, how about Brian Allen? Can we bring in Brian Allen? Oklahoma Brian, are you there, sir? All right. We're going to work on getting Oklahoma Brian from the great state of Oklahoma. He's in a hotel room somewhere, probably counting his money. We're going to come back, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to us. We're going to be talking about the NFC, the first hour. NFC, and we got a lot to cover here on Fifth Street Sports. We'll be right back.
All right, you're clear.
That was pretty good. Steve, in your handicap class, did you cover all the sports?
Yeah, it was mostly guest related.
If you or a loved one is suffering.
Okay, Mr. Engineer, let's get Frank's mic turned down just a little bit. He's kind of hot. Other than that, it sounds good.
37491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation.
Or you just might want to back off the mic a little bit, Frank.
From the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care.
And Nolan, move up on Mike just a little bit, Nolan.
Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
All right, welcome back on Fifth Street Sports, talk you can bet on, here with Frank Perez in studio, along with Stephen Nover, professional handicapper here in Las Vegas. And we have another familiar face. How about Oklahoma Brian? Are you there? Yes. Hey, Brian, how we doing today?
Doing great. How about you guys?
You sound good,
great.
brother. Good to have you back. All right, gentlemen, let's dive into it. Before the regular season starts, there's this slate of games called preseason football. A lot of people say, who would bet on preseason football when you've got, the 4th, 5th, 6th string quarterbacks playing, a lot of mixed motivations, what have you. We're going to debate and discuss that in the next couple of minutes. First of all, Frank Perez, good or bad idea to bet on NFL preseason?
A fantastic idea. I love it. Yeah, it's one of the best times to bet.
What's the reason for that?
Well, because you get such variables, and that's where information is valuable, because, they're going to play a quarter, 2, or a half. Things really matter. Once it gets settled down into the NFL, well, everybody knows every stat, and everybody's going to play. Preseason, there's a lot of value in numbers and in actual, finding out, like, good information, who's going to play and for how long.
Give us something you told us off air a minute ago. You were talking about the key number. Well, you would never think of 1 as a key number in NFL preseason. Why is 1 important?
Well, no, Brian and I were actually discussing it because we love it every year for getting values and possible middles. Like a lot of times when you see a game, let's say Tampa's playing San Francisco and then Tampa's -1.5. Now, during the regular season, you probably think that's just almost like a money line bet. If they win, they're going to cover. Not so in preseason because, let's say hypothetically the score is 17-10 and Tampa goes and scores the last touchdown, late in the game, they always go for 2. So the 1 and the 2 is very, very powerful numbers in preseason football.
Because they don't want to play on overtime and
right.
risk injuries and so forth, right? You agree with that analysis, Brian?
Absolutely. If a tie is kissing your sister, a tie in the preseason is unspeakable.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants overtime in the preseason. And as Frank mentioned, the 1 and the 2, you don't want to lay 1.5, 2.5. Get that early money line. These lines move on just random things, like a coach gives a press conference at noon on a Tuesday, and these lines move quickly. So it's not the worst thing in the world if you miss that move from say 1.5 to 2.5, and you could still get a good money line. Grab the money line, and by the same token, if you have a website that allows you to sell points, right, as opposed to just buying points, and you can sell that half point off of the number 3 for 17, 18, 20 cents, hopefully. Preseason is a great opportunity to actually sell that half point on and off of 3 because it's not a key number.
Yeah, good advice. Stephen Nover, what is your opinion about betting NFL preseason?
Well, it's certainly strong stuff, but I'm not your best guy to talk about preseason, Nolan, and I think you were kind of doing the NFL a favor calling them, quote, games. I call them exhibitions, and I just don't, you can pick and choose. Information comes out, if you're able to get a hold of it and you get maybe a small window, you can get some so-called perceived value there. I just am not in love with the randomness factor, which is multiplied so much more in preseason. I'm not in love getting involved in a game where the coach's main purpose is not necessarily to win the game. It just kind of scares me. But that's not to say there's not good spots. I just kind of am conservative. I try to pick and choose but it's very few games.
Let me follow up. You continue with this, gentlemen. I'm gonna throw this around the table. There's some angles in preseason which we won't get into all of them, but one of them, a popular one, is when you have a new coach, a new head coach, a new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and so forth. Those players want to win for that coach, because they want to establish a winning attitude. Doesn't happen all the time, obviously. But somebody like Bill Belichick, he's got nothing to prove, right? Jim Harbaugh in Baltimore has nothing to prove in preseason.
Tomlin, isn't he, Frank? Wasn't he horrible always in preseason?
Yeah.
There's certain coaches that are really bad historically.
Yeah. So discuss that, gentlemen. What do you think about that angle?
That, and then there's some coaches that are not like the other way, because I don't care what you are, even if you're bowling with your sister and you don't care, you still want to win. I mean, walking off the field as a loser, but still, like you said, a lot of coaches don't care, but some go the other way and want a W no matter what. Brian.
Yeah, and you could
go ahead.
I was going to say you could take that a step further and look at the actual weeks. Like, there's one of my favorite betting angles is week 4 in the NFL because.
Excuse me, Brian. That's the week right before the regular season starts. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It's the very last game, and for years it's been debated whether the NFL should actually have 4 preseason games. Stephen mentioned earlier that preseason is an exhibition. Well, if preseason is an exhibition, week 4 is an exhibition of an exhibition. And there are coaches that really, really just don't care about week 4, and there are others that take it surprisingly seriously. So I think one of my favorite spots is trying to hone in on that week 4. And Jeff Fisher comes to mind as a guy that I believe I actually have to look at the data, but I believe he is a guy that emphasizes week 4, whereas many others don't. Another thing that I think is worth noting this year, the NFL rules are going to be significantly different this year with the emphasis on discouraging tackles that are where people lead with the head. And I believe that the preseason this year will make a major point of emphasis on this. So a lot of these guys that are, future UPS drivers, right? Maybe have a chance to make the league, and they're very aggressive, right? In the preseason, because that's how you get the coach to notice you. Combination of aggressive players and referees trying to make a point of these new rules, I think, are going to lead to a lot of points this preseason and this year.
Stephen, you got something?
Let me ask you, Oklahoma Brian, about that week 4, because usually then the week before that's kind of dress rehearsal where you'll get maybe more of a true type of result, maybe because these guys may play a half or the starters may play a half, maybe a little more. But Brian, you talk about the week 4. Don't you think, though, if you're going to get involved with that, where you're going to see all scrubs, that you really, it's a strong emphasis that these backup quarterbacks, not just the second stringer, but the third stringer. So would you say that information is really crucial if you're going to get involved in this week 4 of preseason?
Yeah, that's a great point. knowing the quarterback rotation and knowing how deep into the game the quarterback will let each quality quarterback play, and the style of quarterback. A running quarterback has a much easier time picking up easy yards in the preseason than a conventional drop back passer. So
why is that? Why is that, Brian? Explain that.
Well, because oftentimes you might have a third string quarterback who's just an athlete, right? Who can pick up easy yards running, and by the time he enters the game, late in the third quarter, he's going against a really overmatched defense, going against less athletic defenders, and that type of quarterback can just pick up yards left and right running. Whereas the conventional passer is going to have a much harder time. He's having to actually throw into defense, make reads, adjust for whether the other team's blitzing, which, by the way, is a completely another topic about handicapping. Is there's a lot of kind of unwritten rules among coaches in the preseason as to what's acceptable in terms of blitzing and not blitzing, and that's kind of been tested a little bit in the last few years. Goes back to your point on trying to handicap the coaches.
Excellent point. Steven Nova, you got 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's important then to know the coaches, their tendencies. Again, this week 4, real quick, I think you might be better off with teams that you want maybe second stringers or third stringers trying real hard to make the roster rather than veterans that may see the first series or two. They're not going to maybe try as hard. They're going to protect, they don't want to get hurt. But these guys that are going all out to make the team, I think those are the kind, if you have the roster rotation, that's the way to go.
Excellent. Good advice, Frank.
That's good. Brian, I thought about that. When you said about the way that they're going to be really careful on the hitting and in the secondaries, maybe the over. There might be a lot of guys breaking free because everybody's scared. They're getting really ticky tacky on the penalties now.
All right, we'll be back. We're going to come back here and pick it up, and we're going to talk about the NFC East and the NFC North. Right back here on 5th Street Sports. Talk you can bet on. We'll be right back.
Okay, you're clear, guys. We got to get Frank's microphone turned down. It's way too loud. So look at the levels on your end and get that mic adjusted, okay?
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert.
Yeah, it's really booming. So take a look at them levels and let's bring that mic down about 3 or 4 clicks for Frank. Everybody else sounds good.
Made that decision to get rid of your timeshare for any reason. Resort Release is offering a Better Business Bureau accredited way to legally get rid of your timeshare, guaranteed. We guaranteed to get rid of your timeshare payments permanently. Even if you've tried another company to get rid of your expensive timeshare, call now and see if we can help you. At Resort Release, you don't pay anything until you're ready. If you're ready to learn how to permanently get rid of your costly timeshare, make this complimentary free call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
Results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. If you owe the IRS back taxes, payroll taxes, or have not filed your returns, the IRS will get you. They can take your property, take you to court, even put you in jail. One call to Wall and Associates, and your tax problems are solved. Wall has saved clients over $150 million in the last 5 years. Our average client settles for about 10% of what is owed. With one call to Wall, you'll never need to talk to the IRS again.
All right, stand by, guys.
Face-to-face consultations in your local area. Remember, Wall has a proven track record with a total client savings over $150 million. Call now for your free face-to-face consultation. 800-813-9940. 800-813-9940. 800-813-9940.
All right, welcome back. I'm Nolan Dalla with Frank Perez, Stephen Nover, Oklahoma Brian in the great state of Oklahoma. We're talking about the NFL, and we're going to be talking about the NFC this segment. By the way, also brought to you by Emma Reichart. Those of you watching me now, Emma Reichart is our wine of the day. Going to enjoy this as well. Let's get right to it, gentlemen, shall we? NFC East, that produced the Super Bowl champion this past year, the Philadelphia Eagles, who are a 10.5 win projected team, 10.5. First of all, before we get to the NFC East, can the Eagles repeat? And is there any value in betting on a team like the Philadelphia Eagles? Frank Perez.
Gosh, I don't. Well, they got that. Wentz is coming back, I think so. But you know who I think is a sleeper in that division is the Giants this year. I think they're going to cause a little bit of trouble. I don't know if they're good enough to win it, but it'll probably come down to the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Can the Eagles repeat? Stephen Over.
If the Eagles were to repeat, it would be the first repeat winner in the NFC East in 13 years. It's been a bottom-to-top type of division. Yeah. Dallas, had won it in even years. They'd gone from the bottom, so they're due to have a. But having said that, though, Nolan, Frank, Brian, I see the Eagles repeating, ending that streak. They're just so solid at every position, and you have to remember, look at their defense. Now their defense, adding to that defense, Michael Bennett, Nagata, the nose guard, Sidney Jones, drafted him last year, excellent defensive back. He was hurt all last year. Jordan Hicks, an excellent linebacker. He was hurt last year. They're adding all these pieces to an already formidable defense. So, yes, I think they clearly are the class of the NFC East.
Before we move on to the rest of the NFC East, Brian, what is your opinion of the Eagles?
Yeah, I'm kind of in a tough spot because I actually do like the Eagles on paper, but I'm kind of orthodox about not betting over on defending champions in any sport. And in general, I like unders on season win totals. I think there's a little bit of value when in doubt. So I'm going to resist the temptation to run with the crowd and be the contrarian that I normally am, and I'll go under on the Eagles. I do agree with the Giants over, but I'm worried. I've seen that from so many square players this summer. My father even mentioned that he liked the Giants over this year, which is that's the ultimate kiss of death.
I think I'm jumping off.
Gentlemen, I think you all are crazy. The New York Giants over. I don't see it. Let's get to those three other teams. We talked about the Eagles a little bit. Let me give you the other numbers. Give or take, some plus and minus money. But Dallas 8.5. Dallas 8.5. Is the projection. The New York Giants now at 7 wins, so that's a projection of 7-9 season. The Washington Redskins also a 7-win team projection. It looks like the Eagles and kind of like everybody else playing for second. Let's talk about those other three teams. Frank Perez, what do you see there?
Gosh, that's such a shaky division. But that point that Stephen brought up, that's a great trivia question. I thought that there would have been a repeat winner in that division in the last 13 years. That's a good angle, but yeah, it looks like the Eagles just might be too strong, especially with these 2 7-win projected teams. Redskins are shaky. Giants could be shaky. Cowboys, who knows? I think I'm just going to, you got to go. But I'm with Brian. Boy, just to go with the crowd again with the Eagles, there's got to be value on the under.
Sounds much better.
Brian? What else do you like in that division? Cowboys, Giants, Redskins?
Yeah, I don't like the Cowboys particularly. And I think that there's always good value. Seems like the Cowboys always close with a lot of money on the over in the last week or two. And I'm always looking for kind of opportunities to grab value numbers when people have bumped something up more than it should. I think that happens again with the Cowboys, and Reds. I grew up a Redskin fan, so but I'm not seeing it with the Redskins. So I guess I'd almost go under with 3 of the 4 teams in the division, and I lean over a little bit on the Giants.
Stephen Nover.
I lean a little bit over too on the Giants. 2 years ago, they were very good. They upgrade in coaching. They get rid of McAdoo and his Denny's playbook there, and and their defense. They have a lot of talent on that defense. They had chemistry issues, but the talent is there on that defense. Now you go to the offense. They've upgraded the offensive line. They've got Barkley, who could lead the league in rushing. He is going to be a monster running back, and they can throw to him. Eli has Beckham back, and Eli is far more effective when Beckham plays. His numbers, 66 touchdown passes, 29 interceptions, 91.5 quarterback rating when Beckham is on the field. When he doesn't have Odell, 14-14 touchdown to interception ratio and a 75 passer rating. So quite a difference. So they might be worth a long shot, the Giants.
Quick sidebar question. We talked about this off the air, but I didn't get your answer. Eli Manning, Hall of Fame quarterback, yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And I'm shocked you even asked the question.
I just had to throw that out there and see what he thought. All right, gentlemen, let's move on. That was a rapid-fire NFC. So let's move to the NFC North. Minnesota Vikings, a 10-win projection on that team. That's the division winner last year. Obviously, they got crushed in Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game. This is the second favorite to win the Super Bowl after New England, listed at 10-1. The Patriots, of course, proverbial Super Bowl favorites. Minnesota right there also at 10-1. By the way, the stat of the year, really. Mike Zimmer, head coach of the Vikings. What a coach against the spread. 44. Listen to these career numbers. 44, 22, and 1. That's 66% against the spread. Have you ever seen an NFL coach with close to 100 games with those kind of percentages? Guys, talk about the Minnesota Vikings. Stephen Nover.
Absolutely love them. Had the best defense in the league last year. That defense is even better this year, and they upgrade at quarterback. In my opinion, I like Cousins better than Alex Smith. They're going to have Dalvin Cook for a full year. You don't figure he's going to get hurt again 4 games into the season. You mentioned Zimmer's against the spread record. He's by far the best coach in the division. The Bears and Lions, first-year coaches, untested. Mike McCarthy, the Packers coach, exposed. Once he lost Aaron Rodgers, you saw how well he coached.
Yeah. Right. Agree, Brian, with the trashing, throwing McCarthy on the pile there. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more about the Vikings. Best defense in football. Yeah, I think they only get an upgrade with the quarterback free agent move, and I think they've been. We'll talk about the Packers in a little bit, but I'm not keen on Packers either. But yeah, I think that's a bet you can only go over on is the Vikings over 10 wins.
All right. Let me give these numbers, Frank Perez. You'll discuss these first. Green Bay Packers also projected to be a 10-win team. 10-6 is the projection there. Then we drop down considerably to the Detroit Lions, just always a mediocre team, it seems. Now they're 7.5. I think they were 8 last year and missed the playoffs at 9-7. Now they've dropped down a bit with, I believe, a new coach. 7.5 wins. And then the Chicago Bears, 6.5. Maybe that total is interesting. It seems a little high to me. What do you think about the Packers, Bears, and Lions, and or whatever? There's a riddle in there somewhere.
Well, you always got your 8-8 Lions because, I mean, that's the whole key in that division. Is just try not to be one of their 8 wins every year because, they're always going to show potential and then go right back to their 8-8, 9. Never make it, though. And then it's all about the Bears. I really think it's dominant going to be Minnesota and Green Bay and the other two way off in that division.
But Rodgers has to stay healthy.
If Rodgers stays healthy, yeah. Oh, yeah, without them, it's like...
Let's just suppose right now, if Rodgers stays healthy, who do you, assuming you could have that as in locked in stone, who would you pick in the division?
Gosh, even with Rodgers healthy, I gotta give I gotta give the edge to Minnesota, but it will be a great race though with Rodgers healthy. Probably you're 12-4, 11-5.
The defense is Nolan. Minnesota, top defense, if not the second best defense. Green Bay's defense is nowhere in that class. Now they're banking they have a pretty good defensive line, but their linebackers are below average, and they're taking a huge chance in the secondary that it's either too old or too young.
Right.
And so I don't see there's any comparison defensively between those two teams. I'm a Packer fan coming from Wisconsin, so I hope it's not too much of a leap of faith to say that Rodgers is going to stay healthy and the Packers then would be right there with the Vikings. Rodgers, they were 4-1 in his first 5 games before he got hurt. One ominous thing, though, he was sacked 19 times in that 5 games. Yeah. Ted Thompson, who finally, mercifully, stepped down as their GM, he stripped them of their good guards. They have very questionable, perhaps below-average guards now. Their right tackle, Balaga, may not be ready for the opening week. And that leaves Rodgers, with his reckless style of play, very vulnerable.
Oklahoma Brian, you got about a minute here to clean up the mess that we've just spilled all over the floor here.
Yeah, well, so, yeah, I would say in summary, love the Vikings over. I really like the Packers under. I got fairly neutral on the Bears. And I lean a little bit over on the Lions, but not significantly. So that's how I would bet the 4.
All right, I'm going to step out here. I'll get the closing word because it's. I guess I get to be the host and do that kind of crazy thing. Gentlemen, my strange, wild, crazy prediction of the year. Watch out for the Chicago Bears. This is a team that is built. They're not going to do much this year. This is a team that's built in the mold of the Rams and the Eagles, a very young team, a quarterback coming into his own, a brand new coach who's known for molding quarterbacks. That defense is solid. Watch the Bears maybe surprise, get 6 or 7 wins, then be a playoff contender in 2019. I know I'm jumping ahead of myself, but Packers falling back, Bears stepping up is my final projection. Frank?
Good point. I like it.
That's gutsy. That's the contrarianism. A lot of contrarians sitting here, and we're here. We've just gotten halfway through the NFC East, NFC conference, and we've got a lot more to go. The NFC South coming up, the NFC West coming up. Then we're going to go the whole hour or 2 with the AFC. Gentlemen, we're just getting started. This is 5th Street Sports Talk you can bet on. We'll be right back.
You're clear.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's HomeAdvisor. HomeAdvisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that HomeAdvisor is completely free to use.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
HomeAdvisor. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Pedro Fernandez here. You might know me as the host of Ring Talk Live Worldwide, but this time I'm here to talk about that 4-letter word everybody dreads, pain. If you have back pain or knee pain like I do, hey, you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. I'm talking about if Medicare is your primary medical insurance, and guess what? You can qualify for a back or knee brace or a shoulder brace for little or no charge. Anything to help me with the pain, hey, makes it more manageable, gets my attention, folks. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for your back, ankle, knee, or shoulder, guess what? Give the Health Alert Hotline a call, toll free, 1-800-428-1570. 1-800-428-1570. You can qualify for a back or knee brace or a shoulder brace for little or no charge. 1-800-428-1570. The Health Alert Hotline, 1-800-428-1570.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
All right, welcome back to Fifth Street Sports Talk. You can bet on. Hi to everybody out there watching us, listening to us all around the world. Really nice to have you with us. We're talking about the NFL and specifically the NFC, the National Football Conference. Let's continue, gentlemen, talking about the NFC South. This is the loaded division. A lot of people think it's the best. Well, let's open this up. Is the NFC South the best division in football? By the way, we're talking about New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, Tampa. What do you think, Frank?
Yes, for sure.
Yes. Oklahoma?
Not only is it the best division, I think the Super Bowl winner will come from this division.
Wow, hold your hat on that. We can't wait to hear who your team is there.
Unanimous. I
unanimous.
Would agree, yes.
Before we go 4-0, gentlemen, NFC South is the best division. Here's the totals. New Orleans Saints 9.5. New Orleans Saints 9.5, 18-1 to win the Super Bowl. Oh, wow, I love that. Atlanta 9 wins. Atlanta is a team that, is a Super Bowl contender. Only projected at 9 wins. Yeah, they're going to beat each other up in the division, but 9 wins. Wow. Carolina, always solid, always there. 9-win projection also. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, poor Buccaneers, have to play against a stacked monster division. If they're any other division, if they're in the NFC East, they may finish second in that division. But Tampa at 6.5 this season. Gentlemen, who wants to take this one first on the South? Frank, you ready?
Believe it or not, I like all 4 of them over.
What? Really?
I like you might get a push or 2 on those 9s, but I think you're so safe going over on with all those. Yeah, that's how good that division is.
Wow. So even though they beat each other up a little bit.
Yeah, because you get your automatic wins too. You're going to get your 6 and 6 out of there. 6 wins.
So you have an 11-win team, maybe a 10-win team, maybe a 9, and maybe the Bucs slip in there
at 7.
And
you might get an 11. A 10 and let's say a 9 and a 7.
Well, Frank, how did the Bucs win 7 games in that division? You got to explain that one.
No, but I mean that's your prayer. I mean that's your one.
That's a pretty big prayer to get answered.
I mean that's your
quarterback has legal problems too. Let's not forget that.
That's going to be tough.
That might be a plus. No, seriously, you want to know what quarterback has the most turnovers in the last 3 years in the NFL? Jameis Winston, 59. Yeah. They were 2-1 with Fitzpatrick last year. They had a winning record with him.
Really? No kidding. Yeah. Fitzpatrick maybe should be starting. All right, Oklahoma, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I do agree that Tampa's going to have a hard time getting over the number. My favorite team in general, but especially in this division, is the Saints. I love the Saints over 9.5 wins. I actually think they're a great pick to win the Super Bowl this year. And one thing I kind of touched on a little bit in the preseason, but I think these NFL rule changes are going to significantly benefit a certain style of offense, and that is teams that can throw the ball over the middle, kind of your basketball on grass type offense. Nobody does it better than Drew Brees, in my opinion. And if he can stay healthy, I think the Saints last year they could have gone to the Super Bowl if not for that walk-off touchdown by Stephon Diggs. This year, I think they get it done.
I'm not going to
over 9.5.
I love that. I love that, but I have to bring up some. I'm going to pull the Band-Aid scab off of this man's wound sitting next to me here. This is Frank Perez. Frank, you lost. How much money did you lose on the Saints last year on that one ridiculous play in Minnesota? Give us the number. And then, by the way, I'm gonna let you have the stage in a second. You lost a bunch of money. Tell us that story, and then also you don't like the Saints defense. Talk about that, please.
Okay, not so much that I lost a lot of money on it. It's the middle that I had set up because I had the Vikings on the alternate plus 3.5 and the Saints on the money line. And when it was 4th down with 10 seconds to play, and they still needed even 25 yards for a field goal. How 3 or 4 guys upstairs in the booth with headsets that all they do is coordinate the defense and your coach sit there and not rush 4 guys and just keep 7 guys deep. is beyond me. I mean, I'm never bitter, but this one losing, I just can't believe that these guys are getting paid hundreds of maybe $1 million a year to make calls like that on defense.
And so the Saints defense, do you think that's interesting? Do you think that that kind of a lapse shows just a fundamental lack of understanding about coaching and how to, how to set up things like that? That maybe that's a fatal flaw of Saints and other teams as well?
I really do. If I was the owner of that team right after that play, I would have fired everybody. I would have fired them all. Everybody out. Let's go. Come on, everybody out. You think we work all season, training camp, everything, to make a call like that with 10 seconds to go to the Super Bowl? Everybody out.
Well, I'm glad he's not bitter anymore about that anymore.
Don't blame him. Don't blame him at all, though.
Okay.
All right, let's move on, gentlemen. I just love talking about the NFC South. My favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Love your pick there, Brian. 18-1 to win the Super Bowl. Rarely do you see a price like that. That team should be 12-1, I think, at the very least. So I certainly love that pick, Brian. Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
Can I make one thing, Brian? This is my analogy on any. We know that the future bets have like at least a 40 to 50% advantage built into them. But if you're going to take a team like 18-1 to win the Super Bowl, even 9-1, you have to know in your mind that unless you seed 1 or 2, unless you, like not just to make the playoffs, unless you think you can be a 1 or 2 seed, you don't have any value at all because you got to play at least 2 on the road. You know what I mean? You're going to have to play the next 2 on the road, and it's 4 games that you can parlay through. So unless you think you're going to be a 1 or 2 seed, it's ridiculous to make an a future bet in the NFL.
All right, so before we move on, I'll just throw one more thing in here. We didn't talk much about the Atlanta Falcons. I think that's a team that talk about value. 2 years ago, this team should have won the Super Bowl. They were leading, that collapsed, but that still shows a team that's a winner. And then they were within a play or two of upsetting Philadelphia in Philadelphia. Well, are we forgetting about the Atlanta Falcons, gentlemen? I mean, 9 wins. Come on, let's move on to I get the last word. See how I did that? NFC West. Okay, the LA Rams. A lot of people say the best team in football, the team that's up on the rise. 10-win projection. San Francisco 49ers, the darling everyone. They went 5-0 with. The quarterback coming over from New England, 8.5 wins is a projection there. The Seattle Seahawks expected to be a 500 football club. And the Arizona Cardinals, the poor Cardinals now, the longest odds in NFC at 5.5, the most woeful. This is the Cleveland Browns of the NFC is what they're saying. Stephen Nover, what do you think about the NFC West?
Well, Seattle's not a 500 ball club. They're worse than a 500 ball club.
Really?
I just think Russell Wilson by himself is propping up this team. I think he's worth, in my estimation, 11, 12 points on the betting line because without him, they're absolutely sunk. He covers up so many weaknesses. Not only did he lead the NFL in touchdown passes, he led the team in rushing. And if you ever watch Seattle, their offensive line is just horrible. He's a magician. He's racing around. The defense now has been gutted with injuries and defections. This is a team that's really going to be hurting Seattle.
Are you saying underrated is a really strong play?
I don't think Seattle is. I don't think they're going to make 500.
All right, Oklahoma, you're on board, sir.
Oh, Steven, you stole my pick.
That's why I jumped in, Brian. I saw you going to open your mouth, so I jumped right in. That's
that's my favorite play in this division is under 8, -20, -1/4, depending on where you get it. Absolutely love it. I agree that Wilson's propped this team up for years, but I personally think he's a player who's peaked. I think he peaked about a year and a half ago, and I absolutely love the under. And I also I'm a contrarian. I've seen so many people betting Rams over during the offseason.
Wow.
I'm actually, when it's all said and done, I'm going to be going under on the Rams.
All right, you got the floor here for a little longer. Everyone loves the Rams. You're the first person I've heard I actually respect who says under on the Rams. A little more, please.
Well, I just when I see everybody zig, I'm going to zag after I get a little bit of value. And, this is just, you've got pets, running up trying to bet chew toys on the Ram season, win total over. At some point, there's got to be value on the under. And like I said, also, this is also kind of a team that's a blue collar, 3 yards in a cloud of dust team. I don't know if that really fits the narrative of 2018. Although they can beat you, passing, but I like the under on the Rams. I like the Niners over 8, which is a little bit of a public play. And then I don't know if you can get 5. Can you still get 5.5 on the Cardinals? I've seen 6s, but
heavy juice.
Yeah, it's heavy juice. It goes back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your view there?
I kind of don't generally like to go over, but I think it's a low number. If I think Josh Rosen will be the quarterback within 3 or 4 weeks, and I would lean over on 5.5 wins.
Wow, lot of can I say ballsy? I think I can. Yeah. Well, they'll beat me out if I can't. A lot of ballsy predictions. Frank, let's hear your thoughts.
See, I like Brian's thing to get the money, because we're from Vegas, and I don't care what you say in the NFL, you got to have a feel, and then to go against to go against like the public and everything. I think one of the strongest handicapping plays in NFL football, and remember, I've been in this town 54 years, the strongest play you could ever make in winning and handicapping football is if you can put mics in all the water coolers and the break rooms in all the offices across America.
What do you mean by that?
How many times have you ever seen these guys on Tuesday at the water cooler talking about their bad beats? They had to. If you could just sit there and mic these water coolers and see what these guys are all betting, because these are the squarest guys in the country. The guys in all the offices, government offices all across the country. Imagine having a mic and listening to what all these guys are betting, so you can go the other way.
That's good. And you've always been a contrarian, yeah.
I just want to mic the water cooler. That's all I want to do.
All right. If there's any Russians listening to us, you can call Frank Perez, and I'm sure that he's got some work for you. All right. Get those troll mills going in St. Petersburg. Here we go. Gentlemen, this has been a fun segment covering the NFC. We got through it all. When we come back in the next couple of minutes here in the closing of this first hour, we're going to ask you all to give your best bets in the NFC as far as futures, as far as, hey, bet all the unders on this team, bet all the overs on this team. Real quick on totals betting. We got a few seconds left. Any thoughts on what teams that supposedly have great offenses, maybe, talk about contrarianism. Hey, bet against these great offenses. They're all going to go under. Or all these teams that aren't scoring any points, maybe they're good overs. Any thoughts on totals betting with regards to, not futures, but something we don't expect to see? Gentlemen, who wants to take that one?
Go ahead.
Well, the Falcons, I think, are an overrated team perception-wise as far as betting over. Everybody thinks, the great offense, but that's from 2 years ago. Their defense has improved since then, and their offense has gotten worse with the change in offensive coordinators. Since Sarkisian became their offensive coordinator last year, their scoring went down from 34 points in their Super Bowl year of 2 seasons ago to 22 last year. Matt Ryan's numbers dropped way down. Now, he might have had just an absolute career year, but still, his passer rating went down from 117.1 down to 91.4. And I attribute that to Sarkisian. I don't think he's a very good offensive coordinator.
Wow. Brian, you were talking earlier about some of the rule changes that are going to help offenses, teams like the Saints. Well, how about something like Stephen Overs just said, where, hey, the Falcons, supposedly this, Julio Jones, and they always score all these touchdowns, but not really true borne out by statistics.
Yeah. So, teams that I think will benefit from rule changes. I mentioned the Saints. When we get to the AFC, I've got a couple of teams that I think fit that. Saints. Basically, it's the Saints. Stupid.
All right. There's the Saints. I thought you were a Redskin guy, and he's the Saints homer. Anyway, Frank Perez, any thoughts on totals this year?
No. Well, yeah, you got to look at teams that, I think the Saints, the Steelers, teams that are going to really take advantage of those new rule changes.
All right, gentlemen, we'll be right back. Fifth Street Sports, I'm Nolan Dalla. Frank Perez, Stephen Nover, Oklahoma Brian. We'll be back soon.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated.
All right, you're clear.
Step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. It's the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire. ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
All right, welcome back to Fifth Street Sports Talk. You can bet on here on Saturday. Frank Perez, Stephen Nover, Oklahoma Bryan. I'm Nolan Dalla. Gentlemen, here we go. We just talked about the NFC, the National Football League, in the 2018 regular season. And now we're going to hear our very best bets. These are bets we've actually physically, personally made. I've made a few futures bets, and I know you all have as well. Frank Perez, your best bet in the NFC.
New York Giants over.
Quick reason why?
I think they're underrated. They got a great running back. That division is not as strong as it usually is, and they got a favorable schedule. So I'm going to go with the Giants over.
Oklahoma Bryan.
So it would be after the Saints. It would be Vikings over, Packers under. Yeah, I'd say those three.
Vikings over, Packers under, and the Saints to win the Super Bowl at 18-1. Was that kind of what you're saying?
Yes.
All
exactly.
right. Stephen Nover, you get to clean up here.
Well, actually, to Brian's point, when he was downgrading the Rams, thinking perhaps they're overrated, to that point, they're going to lose 2 home games this year. They're only going to have 6 true home games. One is playing the Chargers, which, that's their home field too. The other is they have one of these London, I think, games. They're out of the country. That was going to be one of their home games. Then they have a situation where they have to play 3 straight road games early in the season. Having said that, though, the Rams, I think, are the best play to win the division at only minus 150. I'm seeing that offshore. Rams minus 150 to win that division. It's a weak division.
Interesting.
Very good. My best bet, I'm surprised nobody said Seattle again at under 8 wins. You had me, biting at that fish, the hook. But I like the Chicago Bears. This is a team that's on the rise. I think they go 7, maybe they win 8 games. I think the Packers are a mess. I think Rodgers may not steal. A lot of things could happen in that division. You could see the Bears sneak in and win 7, 8, 9 games. All right. That was it for the NFC. We're going to come back in hour number 2. We're going to talk about the American Football Conference with Frank Perez and Stephen Nover and Oklahoma Brian. I'm Nolan Dalla on 5th Street Sports Talk. You can bet on. We'll see you in hour number 2.
All right, guys. Not bad. Frank, Mike still needs to come down a little bit. Other than that, take a break.
For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent. Firefighters in California are battling shifting winds and scorching heat as 3 major wildfires burn across the state. The Carr Fire has killed 2 firefighters and destroyed at least 500 structures in Shasta County. 3 firefighters have been released from the hospital after treatment for burns. Marin County Fire Battalion Chief Brett Mateague says the 3 had burns to their hands and faces from the intense heat.
The main fire front was approaching them, and they experienced a sudden heat blast from some vegetation adjacent to them.
The California National Guard says it has 800 soldiers and airmen currently on the ground or en route. A prominent Washington Cardinal resigns amid sex abuse claims, and Pope Francis has accepted the resignation. Theodore McCarrick was one of the most prominent U.S. Cardinals and is one of the most high-profile Catholic leaders to face abuse claims. McCarrick, 88, says he has no recollection of the alleged abuse. You're listening to USA Radio News.
I got the best deal ever on a great night's sleep for you. I really do. And you'll get it right now by going to MyPillow.com. Now, I've told you about MyPillow, how it's given me the best sleep of my life I've ever had in my life, even on vacation when I'm not in my regular bed. And you know what a pain that is. Well, summertime, you're on vacation and traveling, get you a MyPillow to take with you. And right now, if you go to MyPillow.com, you click on the buy one, get one free special. Use my promo code USA, 2 for the price of 1. Really, I'm serious. Buy one, get one free special if you use my promo code USA when you go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-951-875. Use promo code USA. Machine washable, dryable, made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, use promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175. Get a great night's sleep and save money.
Les Moonves, the CEO of CBS, is under investigation by his network after The New Yorker reported several women accused Moonves of sexual misconduct, and dozens of employees report a culture of harassment at the network. The accusations against Moonves range from inappropriate kissing to sexual assault. Journalist Ronan Farrow was a contributing writer for The New Yorker who broke the story.
These are stories, one after another, of varying degrees of severity, up to and including cases in which women say they were pinned down and struggled to escape.
No word yet on the motive or the identity of the gunman following a series of shootings Friday evening in Robstown, Texas, a suburb of Corpus Christi. City Administrator Herman Rodriguez tells ABC that police were called to a local nursing home and found 3 people dead. Officers say they later found 2 more in the gunman's home.
3 bodies were found dead on arrival, and we can identify that were 2 males and 1 female. We can speculate that one of the bodies was that of the shooter.
This is USA Radio News.
With a recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now, before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290.
President Trump is fiercely denying the explosive allegation from his former lawyer, Michael Cohen. Multiple sources say Cohen claims Trump knew in advance about the infamous June 2016 Trump Tower meeting with Russia operatives. On Twitter, the president ripped into Cohen, saying, "Sounds to me like someone is trying to make up stories in order to get himself out of an unrelated jam." One person keenly watching all this play out, Special Counsel Robert Mueller, and for now he's not saying anything. The man behind the InfoWars website, Alex Jones, has been suspended from Facebook for allegedly bullying and hate speech. With more, here's USA's Wendy King.
The conspiracy theorist personal profile was banned for 30 days after it was found to have uploaded 4 videos published on pages that went against community standards. Those videos have been removed, and InfoWars and Jones's pages are close to being unpublished due to community standards violations, according to a Facebook statement. YouTube also removed Alex Jones' videos earlier this week and said his InfoWars website faced permanent removal. InfoWars has not commented. For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
In Russia, a nationwide protest is underway against draft legislation to raise the retirement age.
All right, gentlemen, stand by.
65 and for women from 55 to 63. Government officials have warned over the years that the pension ages need to rise to take account of the country's demographics, labor force, and projected budgets. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.
Here's an urgent alert from the Student Loan Hotline. The average student loan debt is $25,000. Have you been out of college for 10 or more years and you're still making your student loan payments? If you are struggling with paying off your student loan, if you are past due, Nationwide Student Loan Relief can now restructure your student loans. We can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop harassing collection calls, even eliminate your student loan payment. If you can't afford your student loans, or if you're past due and you need help, you must call right now. We will restructure your loan or your money back, and that's a guarantee. So call the Student Loan Hotline right now.
Stand by.
949-8707, 800-949-8707, 800-949-8707, 800-949-8707.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back to Fifth Street Sports Talk You Can Bet On. Those of you listening to me now from all over the world, Armed Forces Radio Network, Sports Byline USA, SB Nation, Facebook Live, and points in between. Gentlemen, nice to be back with you. We have Stephen Nover here in our Las Vegas studio, along with our special guest, Stephen Nover from Stephen Nover Sports. Stephen Nover Picks, StephenNoverPicks.com. Great analysis. Been doing it for a long time. Has great stuff in the CFL, Major League Baseball, NFL. StephenNoverPicks.com. Right here in the catbird seat. And then from the great state of Oklahoma, we have Oklahoma Brian. Oklahoma, you there with us, sir?
I am, but I'm actually not in the great state of Oklahoma.
Oh,
today.
really? Wow. Did they throw
I'm
you out of your apartment?
still Oklahoma Brian.
They threw you out of your apartment. What happened?
I did. I had to leave the apartment. But I am still Oklahoma Brian. I'm just
where are you today, sir?
I'm in the Dallas area in Denton,
Dallas.
Texas.
All right,
Yeah.
nice. Well, it's got to be hot as heck there, huh?
Oh, so hot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so gentlemen, it's going to be really a great hour number 2 here. We're going to talk about the AFC, the American Football Conference. We're going to go over all the teams in the AFC, just like we did the last hour with the NFC. However, first, before we get into the conference, the AFC, we're going to talk about props, betting first halves, second halves, props, player. We're going to talk about it all. We got a lot to discuss here. We'll be right back.
Frank, a little hot there. Back off that mic a bit, babe. Sounds good.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down, 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
All right, welcome back to Fifth Street Sports Talk You Can Bet On. I'm Nolan Dalla, Frank Perez, special guest Stephen Nover, and from Oklahoma, Brian. Gentlemen, we're going to talk about the AFC here this hour, but before we get to that, we've got some interesting things on betting on props. And I, Stephen Nover, you've done some work on actually preseason player props, if that's the right term. Anyway, what do you got for us, Stephen?
Well, I'm a big fantasy football guy, Nolan, and so I really study the players hard. And I looked and I saw two quarterback props that I liked. I'll bring up one here. For most passing yards, Andrew Luck is 25-1. Now, of course, there's the huge question mark, will he be healthy? And if he's not, well, you're screwed. But if he is healthy, I mean, you're really live here. This guy's a top 5 quarterback on a bad team that's going to be playing from behind, passing all the time with him. So I thought at 25-1, it's worth a shot.
That's an interesting perspective. It's kind of like you're getting kind of like, assuming you have Drew Brees healthy, and the Saints are that kind of that 7-9 zone where he's always throwing for 450 yards, but they're losing every game, 38-34.
Sure, before they got the two great running backs, so his situation has changed. But the Colts, they still don't. They don't have a good running back, and they're a passing team. They really couldn't open up the offense too much when Luck was hurt last year with Brissett. But again, kind of rolling on the come that Luck is going to be healthy. And if he's healthy, he's very live to have the most passing yards in the NFL.
Yeah, and prop betting is all about what? Numbers. What do you think about that, Brian? 25-1 on Andrew Luck to lead the NFL in passing yards.
I like it. I like it a lot, and I agree that Indianapolis is going to be atrocious. But yeah, it seems like a guy that will get a lot of garbage yards. He I guess just to play devil's advocate, he has had so many, shoulders. Is it his shoulder or his arm? I don't recall. Shoulder. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess he could play at 75% and still play. But I like the premise, and I agree. That's a team that they should be trailing in every game. And yeah, why not? Why not Andrew Luck to win the passing title? That makes perfect sense.
Frank Perez.
Me too. That was a great point. I can't wait till the show's over. I'm going to drive that line down to 15-1.
By the way, I saw a stat on Luck, and obviously he has to stay healthy. That's again the big F, but it's all about price. I think Luck's against the spread record as a starter is pretty remarkable, isn't he? Something they sit in 58% against the spread or something like that. In other words, if he's healthy, that team could. Well, that's a tough division all of a sudden, but that team could win 9 or 10 games for sure. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot, Stephen. I think you had some more information on player props and futures here entering the 2018 NFL season.
Okay, just for your previous point, though, I just looked it up. Luck, 65% against the spread as an underdog.
Wow.
So, yeah, you're right there, Nolan. The second quarterback I was looking at as a pretty good player prop is for most passing yards for the season in the NFL is the Chiefs' Patrick Mahomes, also at 25-1. Has the great pedigree there with Andy Reid. That's a passing offense. He's got a lot of weapons, a lot of receiving weapons, 2 really outstanding speedy wide receivers and an outstanding tight end in Kelsey. And I don't think they're gonna hold him back at all. They would not have traded or let Alex Smith go if they didn't want to turn the offense completely over to Patrick Mahomes. And this guy is a gunslinger. He's not some nickel dime check down guy. This guy's going to air it out. And at 25-1, I think this guy is another guy who's very live then to lead the NFL in passing yards.
That is a bold statement. Do you agree, Oklahoma? Do you agree it's a bold statement? How about that?
Well, I'm a Texas Tech guy, so hard for me to be impartial here. But, yeah, I love Pat Mahomes. And I actually like Kansas City as a team this year with a relatively low win total. But as to him in the passing title, yeah, I think as long as Reid doesn't put the brakes on him the way he did, with Alex Smith, which I don't think he will either. This is a guy that has a chance to put up huge yards, and I think they have a chance to be a pretty good team.
I'm still trying to process this information. Kansas City Chiefs to lead the league in passing yards. Wow, I'm still there's something in this wine. Frank, save us. Set us straight.
No, I'm going with that too. With this guy, as the way he likes to throw, and with these new defensive rules, I might just double down on this.
So you're going to move the line again, huh?
Nolan, we're not laying minus 350. We're taking 25-1.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
All right, wait, real quick. I'm going to put everybody on the spot. Anybody else have any player props to watch out for? Any values like this quarterback's due for a breakout? This running back may lead the league in rushing and most yards by a wide receiver. Anything stand out on the board so far? Oklahoma, Brian, have you looked at this? It's okay to say no.
I haven't looked at it. Yeah.
All right, that's fair enough. It's a lot of information out there, But by the way, real quick on what you call correlation betting. In other words, if let's suppose that Luck was to lead the league or be up there, how about taking one of his wide receivers to lead the league in receptions or
that makes
something
sense.
like that?
T.Y. Hilton 2 years ago led the NFL in receiving with Luck throwing to him. He's at 20-1. And if you like Mahomes, you could take Tyreek Hill at 35-1 to lead the NFL in receiving yards. So, yeah, you could double down on that.
I love those hookups. You know what? I think, this Stephen, I think we should send a helicopter for him and get him on the show every week.
I think the casinos need to send a limousine.
I just need a bankroll. Frank, I need a bankroll.
That's all right.
I got too many children I'm paying support for. I need a bankroll.
But check out those hookups. I mean, you're talking about hookups at 25-1 to a 35-1 guy, 25-1 to a what's the other guy?
Hilton, who is proven. He's 20-1.
Absolutely.
2 years ago, he led the NFL in receiving.
He goes right over the middle.
Those are like fantasy football hookups. I mean, if one goes, you probably get the other.
I do have a thought though on this line of betting. Although it didn't work out last year the way I wanted it to. Although Okay, so one of my favorite bets in the NFL is betting Rookie of the Year. But the way you win this bet is not betting it at the end of July. It's making this bet, in the middle of August. Last year, when we had I guess it was last year with Dak Prescott, we 2 years ago. I'm sorry,
2 years ago,
yeah. When Tony Romo got injured. It was a Sunday evening. I think I was watching golf, and we just absolutely went, guns a-blazing on betting Dak Prescott. And 24 hours later, the bet was pulled from our account in several books, saying just ridiculous nonsense. Actually, we should do a show on the concept of Las Vegas betting rules or the lack of. But that was an extreme example. But there's always examples of guys when we get to the middle of August that you will realize, hey, this is a guy that no one really thought was going to be the Rookie of the Year, but the opportunity is there with the personnel, with injuries on his team, with the fact that he's performed well early in the year. But you can make some really smart bets betting Rookie of the Year by just being quick to bet before these lines move, and that's one that I would say to look out for.
That's some great stuff. Gentlemen, great stuff there. We got about a minute left. Let's cover something, if we can, in this very brief window. First half betting and second half betting. There are teams that are just very well prepared. They come out, in the first quarter and they play well, and then there are coaches that just do not make halftime adjustments. Let's talk about that briefly. What are some really good teams, coaches that make the second half adjustments that maybe don't prepare for the game as well, and vice versa? Any thoughts on first and second half betting? What do you think, Stephen Over?
Well, Carolina's kind of an extreme example that the Panthers, if they're leading at halftime, they're 45-8. That's for the last 5 years. If they are losing at halftime, 9-24-1. So teams with these discernible patterns, you could maybe just kind of piggyback on that. That's the history. The coach has been there.
I like that.
Yeah, you better get the helicopter fired up, huh, Frank?
I can't wait to go home and watch I'm going to open up my sportsbook and watch the reruns of these shows and start firing away on this stuff.
All right, now if somebody can send us some money, we're going to get down. Gentlemen, all right, we got a lot to cover this next hour. I cannot wait. We're talking about the AFC. We're going to be right back. We're talking about the AFC North, all the AFC here in the next hour number 2 of Fifth Street Sports Talk You Can Bet On.
You're clear.
Attention timeshare owners. This is
All right, good job on that one.
Heard from Resort Release, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares. Once you've made that decision to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, Resort Release is offering a Better Business Bureau accredited way to legally get rid of your timeshare, guaranteed. We guaranteed to get rid of your timeshare payments permanently. Even if you've tried another company to get rid of your expensive timeshare, call now and see if we can help you. At Resort Release, you don't pay anything until you're ready. If you're ready to learn how to permanently get rid of your costly timeshare, make this complimentary free call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
Are you an inventor who would like to try to have an invention or idea patented and submitted to companies? But you don't know what to do next? Call for free information from InventHelp. InventHelp, a leading inventor service company, has been helping inventors since 1984 and has sales offices located in more than 60 cities nationwide. You'll want to talk to the company that has helped secure more than 7,000 invention patents. So call InventHelp. Even if you have an idea for improving an existing product and don't know where to go with it, you'll still want to call InventHelp for free information. You'll find out how InventHelp may assist you in trying to patent your invention and submit it to companies. So call now.
Call InventHelp at 1-800-316-1738. That's 1-800-316-1738. Get your free information. Dialing 1-800-316-1738. That's 1-800-316-1738. 1-800-316-1738.
Welcome back to Fifth Street Sports Talk You Can Bet On. I'm here with Frank Perez, Stephen Nover, Oklahoma Brian. Gentlemen, let's talk about the AFC East first. AFC East. Well, that's kind of like the Patriots and everybody else. New England Patriots projected at 11 wins. By the way, this is a team that's won 9 straight division titles. 9 straight division titles. They've had 8 consecutive I want to make sure I got this right. 8 consecutive 12 wins, 12 or more win seasons, and 8 years in a row, and yet their projected win total is 11. Any value at all? I mean, I can't imagine value on the New England Patriots, but boy, the statistics are bearing out. Maybe there's some value on the Patriots.
Well, there's never value when an over-under is at
Never.
11. But having said that, though, they've won 11 or more 8 straight years. They're in the biggest Mickey Mouse division by far. I mean, they've got 6 automatic wins. And just throw their helmets out there and they'll win against these division opponents. They're only going to be, at most, an underdog in 1 game all year, and that may be late in the year against Pittsburgh. Of course, Brady has to stay healthy, but if that's the case, which should be, they may only be an underdog once all season, and that's not a given.
Yeah, and by the way, even when Brady's not healthy, they seem to do pretty darn good. Frank Perez.
That's a great point. I mean, handicapping that division is so tough because it's a year is like, who's going to pull off the miracle against the Patriots? I think last year was the Dolphins on Monday night when Belichick was pissed off because, he didn't, because he wanted to keep Garoppolo and this and that. So it's basically just about the Patriots there,
Oklahoma Brian.
Well, I'm gonna oppose you guys here because I actually
you're gonna jump in front of the roaring freight train of New England.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: the Patriots at some point are going to implode. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, although I think there's a chance. I think there's a lot of value fading the Patriots. I mean, I know this: laying 10-1 on the Patriots to win the division can never be a smart move in the long run. Although I'm sure a lot of people will do it, and they'll get away with it probably. But the reality is the quarterback is going to be 41 years old. And I don't know if you have a stat on 41-year-old quarterbacks completing the season, Stephen or Frank, but it can't be overwhelmingly positive. And if he goes down, then what? Brian Hoyer, Danny Etling? I think it's a team that could be in trouble.
Maybe they'll call up Earl Morrall.
I think that's a good move.
Now, normally, Brian, I agree with you about 90%. The only kind of what I call is like an antibiotic to that is Belichick. Yeah. Because even if Brady goes down or whatever happens, he just seems to find a way to keep it together.
He can really coach Hoyer. Hoyer's a pretty decent backup with Belichick as his coach. And Brady, I mean, Brian, you're right, the guy's 41, but he's a freak of nature. He's still among the 3 best quarterbacks. 30 of his last 36 games, he's had multiple touchdown passes or 300-yard passing games. He's not slowing down. Maybe, you might be right. In 2 years, they may be ended. This could be a last hurrah for Belichick and Brady. They lost the Super Bowl this past season. You got to think they're going to be strongly motivated. The window may be closing fast, but they're going to go all out this year for it.
All right, I hate to leave this party because it's very entertaining.
I'll just say this.
Go on, Oklahoma. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just wish I could pick. There's got to be value on someone, but the division is atrocious. If I could make a bet, it would be to take 8-1 on it not being the Patriots.
All right, so
let's
discuss that. Buffalo Bills 6.5 projected win total, 6.5. Miami Dolphins atrocious division, 6.5. New York Jets 6. Wow, it is the New England Patriots and a bunch of scrappy garbage teams. Frank Perez, is there anybody out of this nest of rejects that can make a move?
No.
Okay, no. Simple. Is there any value in any of these teams? How about the Jets? That's a gutsy team.
Well,
no?
the only value is by 3 of these teams being under 7 wins, they have to play each other.
Somebody's got to win something.
Like they got to play each other. So there may be 2 that can sneak.
So
in
out of the
and
3
get 7
teams,
wins.
what is the most likely team to maybe get 7-8 wins?
I would take the Dolphins in that spot.
All right, Oklahoma.
I don't know.
Dolphins always look good in September, so that's the great thing about betting the Dolphins. Yeah. You always feel smart around October 1st. Always 3-1.
Stephen Nover, you're looking at this again from the perspective of a capper, and value. It's all about value. Is there any value in any of these other teams? Buffalo, Miami, New York Jets?
I don't care. If there's any perceived value. They got to still win. They're not going to do it. These are 3 garbage teams. Maybe Miami's the best of a very poor lot, but they lost a lot of talent. They didn't have that much talent to start with, but what talent they had, they lost. Sue's not there. Landry's not there. I think 30% of their passing offense went through Landry. It's they don't have it. The rosters for these teams aren't there.
Moving right along to the AFC North. Maybe another one-horse race. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers, at least according to the odds makers, the Pittsburgh Steelers and everyone else. The Steelers, 10.5, the projected win total for the Steelers. By the way, real quick stat on the Steelers, probably a lot of people don't get. That's a public team, very popular team, great history. 4 straight cashing of the over on season win totals for the Steelers. Tomlin produces.
Impressive.
That's
have
impressive.
High totals.
And they have high totals already. And then you got the Ravens, which are that perennial 500 team at 8 wins. Cincinnati Bengals, I don't understand this at all. 7 wins. That's the over-under for the Bengals. And then the Cleveland Browns, a team that didn't win a game last year. They go 0-16. Second time with the Lions since the 1970 AFL-NFL merger to go winless in a season. They somehow are going to win 5.5 games. Wow. Yes. A lot of stuff to talk about in this division. What do you think, Frank Perez?
I think in this division what you do is you go into your drawer, you take out your terrible towel and just throw it on the field and you win.
It automatic for the Steelers.
Yeah, that's it. Just take your terrible towel out and win. I mean, how the Browns are going to win 6, gosh. I mean, you remember, you got to win 6 to get the cash there. You know what I mean? Now, it's going to be tough, but Flacco looks off. Cincinnati looks weak.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
All right, I'll disagree.
Oklahoma.
I'll disagree with that. First of all,
of course he's going to disagree. It's Oklahoma Brian.
I think we all agreed that the NFC South was the best division, and guess who plays the NFC South this year? AFC North, right? So already these are. I think this is a fairly substandard division playing a better division in the NFC. But I'm not buying Pittsburgh. I think they have a toxic culture. I thought Roethlisberger's comments after the draft were pretty telling. Le'Veon Bell's made it known that he's on his way out the door. I think Tomlin's a kind of a pinhead, to be honest. I think he's outcoached constantly.
Oh.
And
cut his microphone off. Throw him off the show. Seriously? Wait a minute. I want you to back that statement up. I'm sorry, Brian. Go back that statement up. Seriously?
Which part?
About Tomlin. Really?
I mean, look at his decision. Look at his decisions over the last 10 years on whether to go for 2 or not, or go for it on 4th down. I think he consistently makes the worst decisions on critical plays. He uses timeouts incorrectly. I think he's a great players coach. Players do like him for the most part, but I think he's the worst strategic coach among elite coaches that we've seen in our lifetime.
Worse than Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Bold statement again from Oklahoma. All right, Stephen, over.
Well, I see some regression from the Steelers. They were 9-1 last year in games decided by 6 points or fewer. And Roethlisberger's 36. Todd Haley, who's been their offensive coordinator for the last 6 years, he's left. He's with Cleveland now, so he's still in division. Le'Veon Bell is going to have probably another prolonged holdout, so he'll come in rusty. I see regression from the Steelers. However, I can't make a case for any of these other three teams in the division. I think the Browns are going to be greatly improved, but at best, 5-6 wins. The Bengals are going to hover around 500, probably fall a game or two short. And the Ravens I look at as a 500 team because they don't have a quarterback. I regard Joe Flacco as one of the bottom three quarterbacks, and the stats back me up. And he's got a quarterback rating the last 5 years of 82.1. That would rank, if you go back the last 5 years, not even 32nd, 36th.
Wow.
His yards per pass attempt is down each of the past 5 years.
He throws the best 3-yard pass in the NFL.
That's one of his longer passes. Yeah, so I know they want to become more explosive. Maybe Alex Collins becomes a premier back. That could be a big leap of faith. They rely too much on that defense. The defense lost a little of its swagger at home. They started to lose more home games than they normally do.
I got 30 seconds on this. I got to follow up. Todd Haley, why you read between the lines? Why does an offensive coordinator, a perennial Super Bowl contender of the Steelers, why would you leave the Steelers and take the job in the division, Todd Haley, with the Browns? Is that maybe that he knows something we don't know?
He had, it was pretty publicized, Nolan. He had a lot of conflicts with Roethlisberger. They didn't get along.
Good answer. All right. Gentlemen, wow, good stuff there. We've covered the AFC North. We've discovered the AFC East is obviously going to be won by, you would think, New England. That's, two easy winners, it seems, in that division. But there's some dissension among the ranks here. And we're now going to come back and talk in the next latter half of the show. We're going to talk about the AFC South. What a competitive division that's become. And the AFC West, the home of the future, Las Vegas Raiders. We'll be right back with Stephen Nover, Oklahoma Brian, Frank Perez. I'm Nolan Dalla. We'll be back on 5th Street Sports right after this.
All right, good one. You're clear.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's HomeAdvisor. HomeAdvisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that HomeAdvisor is completely free to use.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
HomeAdvisor.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to us on 5th Street Sports Talk You Can Bet On, live from Las Vegas. And we're discussing the American Football Conference, the upcoming 2018 regular season with Frank Perez, Oklahoma Brian, our two resident handicappers and betting pros. And we have Stephen Nover as our special guest from StephenNoverPicks.com. StephenNoverPicks.com. Give him a little love. Give him a little support. His analysis is top-notch. Gentlemen, let's talk about the AFC South. 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago, this was the worst division in football. Horrible teams. Mediocre, horrible teams. Now it's one of the best. Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts. Let me give you the numbers. Frank Perez, you're going to be on deck to discuss these numbers. Jacksonville, 9 wins is the projection total of the Jaguars. Houston Texans, who, by the way, only went 4-12 last season. Obviously, the quarterback situation with Deshaun Watson going down, but they win 4. They go 4-12. Their projected win total is 8.5. What a leap that is. I think the biggest of any NFL team. The Tennessee Titans make the playoffs last year and fire their head coach. Yeah, 8 wins is the projected total for that team. The Indianapolis Colts, a lot of questions about Andrew Luck and that situation, but the Colts are projected at 6.5. What a logjam of talent and question marks. Frank Perez, what do you think about the AFC South?
The AFC South, boy, that's tough to take any of those teams over there because they all play each other, and I think you get all splits out of there. You know what I mean? I think they're all going to go 1-1 against each other, so there's a lot of canceled games. Well, one of them's got to win it. One of them's got to go to 10. So I guess I would take Jacksonville over, and that's about it.
Is there just too many question marks about the Texans and Luck
and all these things? It's just too competitive, and they all play the same style. The only thing I'm getting out of that division is I'm going to run home and do what Steven said. I'm going to bet Andrew Luck over in passing yards. That's all I'm getting out of that division.
Yeah, fair enough. Sometimes the best bet you make is the bet you don't make, right?
That's right.
In a sense. Oklahoma Brian.
Well, this division has one of my favorite bets, and it's Indy under 7 wins. I think that's as good as any bet I'm going to make during the preseason. In terms of who's going to win the division, yeah, I like Jacksonville. I actually like Jacksonville at 20-1 to win the Super Bowl, but I think Houston will be not far behind them, and Tennessee I would lean under slightly.
Give us a little more on Indianapolis under 6.5/7 wins. Why are you so? I mean, you kind of agreed with the Luck thing about passing for a lot of yards. Seems to be a contradictory recommendation.
Well, I mean, the cupboard's bare for them. He's going to throw for a lot of yards because they're that bad. They're going to be trailing, and they're going to have to throw the ball, 35, 40 times a game. But might be the worst offensive line in football. The front office is abysmal. It's not a place that NFL free agents want to go. And and then you throw in the fact that they're in a pretty tough division. Those are 3 teams that are substantially better than they are. I think 7 wins would be really impressive if they get to 7. and I don't see it happening.
Well, I'm depressed as hell if I'm from Indianapolis hearing that. But anyway, Stephen Nover, what do you think?
I agree with Brian. I don't see Indy getting to 7 wins. Not only is their roster pretty bare, but they're going to be very young. They're going to be playing a lot of rookies. They've got not only a new coach, a new head coach, but they have new coordinators. I believe they have a new special teams coach. And this is a best-case scenario that Luck is healthy and going to play. At best, you have to respect them a little bit just based on luck. But this division is very tough. I agree also with what Frank said, that I could see Houston, Jacksonville, and Tennessee all splitting against one another. Yeah, they're all tough. They're all good. Jacksonville, 10 defensive starters back. They had on defense. Their one defensive weakness last year was against the run. They shored that up by picking up Darius from the Bills, and their run defense improved immensely. They're going to have to trust Bortles because this is a passing league. Bortles showed something against the Steelers, and they can't just keep relying on Fournette. They're going to be looking at 8-man front. So if they want to get to the next hurdle, and I know they came very close. They were leading New England late, but they're going to have to trust Bortles a little bit. And if he can't do it, they got to move on. Now, the NFL, you just can't do it as a run-first team.
Yeah, if you're an NFL purist, in other words, you like watching games played in the trenches, this is the division to watch. And here's what I mean by that. You don't have a lot of flash. You don't have, luck, obviously, but you don't have quarterbacks that are putting up, Drew Brees.
Nolan, just with Jacksonville, the other three, if Watson plays and is healthy, you're going to see a lot of flash with the Texans. You're going to see a lot of flash with Luck if he's healthy. Tennessee, I think, is going to start trusting Mariota more, and they're going to let him
talk about
do
the
his
coaching
thing.
change in Tennessee. Elaborate on that.
It's big. I think the previous coaching regime held Mariota back. Mariota has had terrible road splits. He had a bad season last year. He's maybe not nearly as effective if he doesn't have his wheels, but he's got some underrated wide receivers, a very strong offensive line, 2 good running backs, including a real good pass catcher in Dion Lewis. I think this could be a breakout year for Mariota. So I think, Nolan, to disagree with you on 3 of the 4 teams in the division, I think it's underrated as an explosive division. I think maybe a lot of people might share your perception.
Real quick,
this is a stodgy division.
Overs coming out of this division, maybe? Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
I think maybe not involving Jacksonville. Their defense is so tough. And Houston's defense is going to be very tough, too. They have all their injured players back from a year ago. 2 years ago, they led the NFL in defense because they had Watt healthy. They had Merciless healthy, and Clowney. All these guys are, they're going to be healthy, and they're all very, very good players.
Wow.
So I can't just say jump over. You got to pick and choose.
You get the final word, Stephen Nover. Excellent stuff. Boy, this is good stuff here. Get that helicopter fired up, Frank, huh?
I do. And I actually think that after listening to Stephen, I actually think that there's an outside chance that both of the wild card teams come out of that division.
Interesting, yeah.
Sure.
Because the other ones
you have
are
so many bad teams.
Like the other one, who's going to make it? Buffalo, the Cleveland?
Right. Excellent
come on.
point. Let's move on, gentlemen. We'll talk about maybe where the other wildcard team maybe could come out of, which is the AFC West. Oklahoma, Brian, you're going to be on deck here to answer this question. I used to do rapid fire. Let's do rapid fire on the Chargers. That's a lot of love for the Chargers. By the way, 9.5 is the number. Seems a little low, but there's so much love for the Chargers. That's the 3rd favored team in the AFC to win the Super Bowl. Behind, obviously, New England and Pittsburgh. Let me give you the other numbers, then, Brian, you're going to take it away. The Chiefs, 8.5. The Oakland Raiders, 8. That's a 500 team, supposedly. And the Broncos, 7 wins. So this, every team there, 7, 8, 8.5, 9.5. What do you think, Brian? AFC West.
Well, this is absolutely the most up-in-the-air division. And, even the Broncos, season win total is 7. But they bring in Case Keenum, perhaps he's able to kind of manage the game and they win with defense. I think Denver's a live dog, at 6-1, and that's the worst team in the division. I happen to prefer the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes. But, I think this is it's wide open, and I can make a case for any of the 4 teams.
Which one of you two wants to take that next?
Go ahead, Stephen.
Well,
Stephen?
You really can make a case for all the 4 teams. The Chargers are the one that's getting a lot of love, and they're considered the team to beat in the division. I don't know, though. What they have going for them, though, are three crucial areas. They have the necessary passing game, they have an outstanding pass rush from the edge, and they have a very good secondary, even though they lost their second-best cornerback, Verrett. He's out for the year. They also lost their tight end, Hunter. He was very good, too. But still, they have all that going for them. However, last year, plus 12 in turnover ratio, plus 25 in sack margin, plus 4 in return touchdowns.
That means the ball bounced in their direction.
They didn't make the playoffs. No, I think they earned these things, but they didn't make the playoffs because they don't have a good home field advantage. I'm not impressed with their coach. I don't like their coach. And they had horrible kicking. They were 1-4 in games decided by 3 points or less. So it shows you they had the numbers. There's intangibles missing.
Yeah, talk about that, Frank, about the Chargers.
It is.
By the way,
They
real quick.
just,
Yeah, go ahead, real quick.
I mean, like, have you ever seen, we've been through the days of Montana and these guys in the 2-minute warning, and you need them to score for that win. I mean, when I see that I need the Chargers, and I see this Rivers going in with the last minute and a half, lining up to the huddle and yell. I mean, this guy makes coffee nervous. I mean, have you ever seen him like in the last minute and a half?
Rivers is not the problem in San Diego. Come on, Frank.
No, but you need that quarterback that's going to get those 2 or 3 wins on those last-minute drives to get over the top.
But, Frank, some of that, don't you think that was coaching? They'd make wrong decisions. They'd go for a field goal when they should have been going for it and vice versa. I don't like Anthony Lynn at all. They were so late on making a kicking change. Their kicker killed him. And maybe if they get a good kicker in there.
Two field goals.
Oh, he killed him.
Yeah, and no, but then you see him rushing to the line, yelling at everybody, going crazy. I'm like, calm down. Like, I never seen Montana do that. Yeah. And I never see Brady do that. This guy's rushing up to the line, yelling and screaming, spiking the ball all over the place. He makes me nervous, in the thing, and he's the leader. I don't think he can get him over the top. So I'm going to take Denver in that division.
Well, wow, the Denver Broncos to win the division?
That's right. Absolutely. That's right.
Wow, really?
I like it.
Wow. That's
6-1. Yeah.
Well, in a in a division that where just about anything can happen, I kind of see that. By the way, I'm kind of with Brian here. I'm going to rub my magic wand and whatever the ball is, and I think him and I are going to be on the same page here. Kansas City Chiefs, a team that just in the playoffs they collapse. They're a cheap tent, cheap suitcase. They fold up. They're a horrible, horrible coach, for a lot of reasons. But boy, talk about somebody who gets production out of his players year in and year out. By the way, Andy Reid, 5 straight times he's went over the projected win total. So let me say that again. 5 straight years in Kansas City since he's been coaching the Chiefs, he's gone over the win total. Here's one of his lowest totals at 8.5. Now the Chiefs are projected to fall back to 500 or less. I don't agree. I think the Chiefs are just a team that just somehow gets there. Brian, what do you think?
I agree. That is my preferred pick is Chiefs over 8.5, and I think you can get them plus 250, maybe even plus 3-1 to win the division. I think Mahomes is a breakout star this year. I think he's in the perfect spot. Yeah, totally agree.
Are we crazy?
No, but the defense has to shore up. It was very bad last year, and I think a big reason for that was they only had Eric Berry for one game. He's a whole key to that defense. He should be healthy, and they picked up some key players on defense. Hitchens, the linebacker, Fuller, the cornerback. He's very good, and if it reverts back to from a couple years ago in the defense, I think Houston is still a very effective pass rusher, and if Mahomes comes through, which I think he will, you have something then with the Chiefs.
Gentlemen, we've got about 1 minute left, and I'm going to give you each 20 seconds on this question. I made this up on the spot, by the way. You can tell. John Gruden, Oakland/Las Vegas Raiders. Good hire, bad hire. Will he be coaching here in Las Vegas in 3 to 5 years? Was it a good decision? What do you think, Frank Perez?
Yes, and I've been a Raider fan since that's been my favorite team my whole life. Not that I care. I mean, I've bet lots of money against them, believe me, ever since I turned 21 or 18 when
he was 3, he was
had
betting, but go ahead.
But
I
think
his
that
baby battle.
Gruden is great for the team, great for the coach, right spot here.
Oklahoma. All right, Brian, you there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think he's a great hire. He's either going to sell a lot of tickets or win a lot, and he might do both. Perfect.
Good answer. Wow, there's an optimist in there from a pessimist usually. What do you think, Stephen
He's
Nover?
a great hire just because he's going to straighten out Derek Carr's footwork. Now, you know, Brian mentioned zigzag. This is going to be a zigzag situation. Raiders were great 2 years ago, horrible last year. They'll be good again this year.
The Raiders are a mess. A mess. He hasn't coached in 10 years. You might as well, pull Curly Lambeau off the
followed
field.
the game very close. Access to every team with that
We're
Monday
still
night.
fighting.
But
Gentlemen, thank you.
But he's been around the league. It's like riding a bike.
He's been riding a bike. He's been riding a one-wheel. We'll be back. I'm Nolan Dalla, Fifth Street Sports. We'll close it up here in the next couple of minutes. See you soon.
Are you talking about the analytics, the GPS, all the modern technology? Man, I'm trying to throw the game back to 1998.
Attention to anyone that's written a book.
All right, good segment, guys.
This is not that complicated. Take a first step, even if you write
2-minute close coming up.
build momentum, and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Pedro Fernandez here. You might know me as the host of Ring Talk Live Worldwide, but this time I'm here to talk about that 4-letter word everybody dreads, pain. If you have back pain or knee pain like I do, hey, you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. I'm talking about if Medicare is your primary medical insurance, and guess what? You can qualify for a back or knee brace or a shoulder brace for little or no charge. Anything to help me with the pain, hey, makes it more manageable, gets my attention, folks. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for your back, ankle, knee, or shoulder, guess what? Give the Health Alert Hotline a call, toll-free, 1-800-428-1570, 1-800-428-1570. You can qualify for a back or knee brace or a shoulder brace.
All right, give me a good solid 90 seconds on the close.
428-1570, the Health Alert Hotline, 1-800-428-1570.
Welcome back to Fifth Street Sports. Talk you can bet on. We've covered the whole AFC, gentlemen, and now we've got the last 3 minutes of the show. Let's talk about making some money. What do you think about Stephen Nover, your very best bet in the AFC?
I had Bills under 6.5, and it's now under 6 with heavy juice, but I'm not getting off that. They still have to win 7 games. I can't see them doing that. The defense is mediocre, and the offense is the worst offense, worst wide receivers, worst quarterback. McCoy, if he even plays, I think is 30 now. He's coming off his lowest yard per average of his career. The offensive line is without their 3 best starters from a year ago. I think it's going to be very, very tough on them.
A lot of information in a short amount of time. Oklahoma, Brian.
I'm swinging for the fences. 18-1 on the Browns to win the division.
Whoa!
I think Steelers regress.
Whoa!
I think the Steelers regress, and yeah, I think the Browns could win 9-10 games and steal a division. There it is.
Whoa! Really? They go from 0 to 9 wins.
Wow.
I think it's possible.
Oh my goodness!
I know with that pick, boy, I'm really glad he took that one because that looks like the 4-5 of diamonds to me. I'm gonna play the Ace King of Hearts here and go with Kansas City over 8.5.
Oh, gentlemen, I like the New York Jets. That's a team that if you watch football, you understand football. That's a team that's gutsy. And after 3 quarters, they were leading in more than half their games. They blew it in the 4th. This is a team that will mature. Not a lot of stars. This is a team that's gutsy. Nobody expects anything out of them. I think they get to 500. New York Jets over. I'm Nolan Dalla. Stephen Nover, it's been fabulous having you. Frank Perez, you are the man. Oklahoma Brian, I know you're from Dallas. You're in Dallas, which is enemy territory now, but it's always great to have you, sir. And, hey, this is Fifth Street Sports Talk you can bet on. Our new sponsor, Emma Reichart. And by the way, this is the wine posted on Facebook. I told you I'd send you a case of wine if you post Emma Reichart. See you back next week. I'm Nolan Dell on Fifth Street Sports. Talk you can bet on. We'll see you next time.
All right, nice show, guys. Brian, you got to be out of your mind. We'll talk to you later, guys.
For USA Radio News,